Living in a developed country like the United States of America, it's hard to believe that food poisoning is a serious problem. However, the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, estimates that 1 in 6 Americans will develop a foodborne illness, and 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning every single year. That means that 4 to 5 of us in this very classroom could develop a foodborne illness. Knowing this horrifying statistics, it's important for us to inform ourselves about this terrible illness. Hi, I'm Sanjana Bhatia, and my job today is to inform you about food safety and foodborne illnesses. I'm going to talk about what exactly food poisoning is, a particular outbreak of bacteria causing foodborne illness, and finally, how to prevent foodborne illnesses. To start off, I'm going to talk about what exactly food poisoning is. Food poisoning can be a result of a variety of different kinds of bacteria, viruses, or parasites. The U.S. Food and Drug Association lists over 15 kinds of bacteria which are known to cause foodborne illnesses, the most common of which are Salmonella and Listeria. According to Colorado State University, the illness is not caused by the bacteria, virus, or parasite themselves. It's caused by the toxins produced by these. A noteworthy fact is that the CDC says that most germs for foodborne illnesses are found in animal products. Regardless of the source of the illness, most foodborne illnesses produce similar symptoms. The National Digestive Diseases Information Clearinghouse reports that the most common symptoms are diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, fever, and chills. It's interesting to note that it's more likely for some people to get a foodborne illness compared to others. Although anyone can get the illness, the NDDIC states that infants and children, pregnant women and their fetuses, older adults, and people with weaker immune systems are more susceptible to foodborne illnesses. Moving on, one of the more recent outbreaks of a foodborne illness was the peach recall by the Wawona Packing Company. The peaches were contaminated with Listeria monocytogenes. According to CNN News, Listeria monocytogenes are a bacteria which cause listeriosis. This infection can have symptoms such as high fever and diarrhea. The CDC reports that listeriosis is the third leading cause of death from food poisoning. The Wawona Packing Company in Cutler, California announced a voluntary recall. The Food and Drug Administration states that the company recalled any products from their company on July 19, 2014. Surprisingly, only 1 peach and 2 nectarines tested positive for the bacteria. According to CNN News, because of these 3 fruits, the entire facility was shut down and tested. The tests performed were negative for the bacteria. CNN News also stated that people were instructed to throw out potentially contaminated fruit. Next, we will transition into ways of preventing foodborne illnesses. According to the CDC, the 4 steps to food safety are clean, separate, cook, and chill. The first precaution is to clean. The CDC recommends washing hands and cooking surfaces often. It also recommends washing produce before consumption, regardless of whether the produce is going to be peeled or not. Bacteria can spread through cutting boards, utensils, or even from the outside to the inside while peeling the produce. The CDC advocates cooking foods at the correct temperatures. The CDC advocates the use of a food thermometer to be sure if certain food is done being cooked. After cooking, it is recommended to keep the food above 140 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent bacterial growth when the food begins to cool. The CDC also recommends chilling the foods. The organization says to refrigerate foods within 2 hours of cooking to prevent bacterial growth. One should also never thaw or marinate foods on the countertop or at room temperature. Bacteria is known to multiply dramatically at room temperature. Separating foods and utensils helps prevent contamination between foods. The CDC says to keep meat, eggs, poultry, and fish away from other items in your grocery cart and in your refrigerator. One should also use separate cutting boards for meat than they did for produce while preparing food. Today we learned details about what foodborne illnesses are, the peach recall with the Wawona Packing Company, and ways to prevent these illnesses. Now that we have educated ourselves about food safety and food poisoning, we don't have to worry about being those 1 in 6 Americans who will conceive a foodborne illness this year.